Hey folks, Tracy White here. Continuing on with our game. A maze game. In the last tutorial talked about importing meshes, and what I have done is kind of caught up with myself. The last tutorial I had re-imported stuff that was in my test game uh, project, and I had restarted the project and redid the actual first tutorial. So I'm trying to catch up with myself, and you guys get to, I don't know, catch up with me. Straight into materials real quick. I want to show how I did materials. I make a material master for each material type that I'm going to have. In this case, it's going to be my self-illuminated material is what we're going to do first. And so we'll go into the material editor of this first material. We're going to do a self-illuminated material, so we're going to start with a vector parameter, and this is going to be the glow color. I'm going to put my glow color into the emissive channel. Then I'm going to create a scalar parameter. We'll call this a glow amount. That glow amount is going to be multiplied. We'll do a apply and bring this in here as well. Sorry about that. And put it into the emissive color. So what that allows us to do is set a color. Let's make this one blue. So we'll make a blue color, and then the amount that we multiply that by will go into the emissive color to create the glow. Alright, so you see at 1 it doesn't glow much. At 30 we're going to have this really big glow, and since this is a parameter that will be settable by the level designer or you. Alright, the other thing that I like to put in here, kind of a habit of mine, is going to be a roughness. And I'm also going to put in a metallic, because I like shiny things, or sometimes semi-shiny things. Scale this back to 1 so we can see with a roughness of 0 it's going to be a nice reflective surface. If I cranked my metallic to 1 it would make it look more like a metal, but I don't need that for this. So we're going to leave it at that, and then we're going to leave 10 as the default for the glow amount. Okay, so the next master material that I'm going to make is going to be master plastic. And this is going to be pretty much the exact same shader, but for the non-glowy stuff. So this will be the color. Let's call it diffuse color. And we'll put that straight into the base color. And then the only other parameters I'm going to put in here are metallic, and then I'll put in a roughness. Alright, whenever I first started this project I mentioned that I wanted to keep all this stuff as simple as possible. It helps me maintain that simplistic kind of look that I like to maintain. I'm going to go ahead and make this one blue as a default as well. So I'm going to bring my roughness up just a tad because I don't want that to be real shiny. So let's, maybe 0.25. Nah, 0.2 was good. And then we'll just leave it at that for now. Okay. Let's make another material. This is going to be our glass material. Like I said before, I want to go for a kind of a neon look, so I think glass around some glowy stuff kind of looks cool. So we're going to make sure that this one is set to translucent. And as before, we're going to do a metallica, no, and a roughness, and plug those in where they need to go. And then I'm also going to add in a refraction, and we'll feed that into refraction, and we'll need an opacity. And these are all just scalar parameters that the material instance will be able to set. Last but not least, let's go ahead and throw a color on here just for fun. We'll call it glass color. Because I'm a fan of blue, we'll go ahead and make this blue by default. So you can see our opacity is set to 0. If I set that to 1, it will be completely opaque. Let's set that at something pretty low. And in game, it's hard to see here. It'll look different. And just because I want things to bend around, let's set our default value of our refraction to 0.98. I think that will give a good refraction. Go ahead and save that. I just thought of something. What I want to do over here on my glowy material is, because I have a texture that I want to use for my glow materials and animate, we're going to go ahead and put a texture sample in here. I'm going to convert this to a parameter so you can change it later, and we'll call it glowy texture because it's a glowy texture. Yeah, that's fun. And then we'll go out here and we'll multiply that by our glow amount. So here, and then we'll put that in that multiply for the color. All right, let's go ahead and import texture. I don't have a texture folder. I think I'll put my texture folder in with the material folder, and we'll call this textures. All right, I'm going to go ahead and import my texture. Yep, right there. Let's go ahead and save, and with that selected, I'm going to go back here and assign that to here. All right, and then what you see is this glow material here. It's not animated yet. I want to do a panner. Into the UV coordinates, and in my panner I want to change the speed of the Y to say 0.5 and see what happens. Seems kind of quick. Maybe that's the right speed. It can always change later if we don't like it. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Alright, so that is kind of the material setup. From here I can go ahead in my materials and I can make instances from this. So I can create a material instance and call this green glow, for example. This is a material instance of the glowy master. And then in here I can change the glow color to green. And so now I have this glowy green color. I can change the glow amount. I can change the glowy texture if I want to. And I do have another glowy texture that we'll use for floors, floor tiles, gates, and what was it, the end tile, like we saw in the last tutorial. So I'm going to set that up, cut here, come back, and then we'll talk about some blueprints.